विष्णुं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपदा मह्यं ददाति स पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो शिवतापद्कमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सगना रघुनाथामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगना ललिता श्रीविशाखामृतांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी विचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे वांछाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरस्य नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोप्स गोपिका कांचन राधा कांचन मुसते सप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय नीरजन निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलवंत सुभद्राभ्याम जगन्नाथाय च नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll continue with our discussions. So wait for a minute. I'll just share the PPT with all of you. Yeah. So last time we were discussing this particular aspect of Klesh Agni, how devotion service destroys all the sufferings. So as we discussed, the root cause is avidya, ignorance of our real identity, that we are part and parcel of Krishna and we have a specific relationship with Krishna. That leads to material desire. Then one acts sinfully, and then there is suffering. Now suffering is sometimes due. It is going to manifest in due course of time. Then it is called aprarabdha. And when it is going to come very soon, it is called prarabdha. So we discuss about it. Okay. Did we discuss, read these examples also by Prabhupada? Somebody remembers?
So Prabhupada on prarabdha and aprarabdha karma.
No. Prabhu is asking, is it discussed or not?
Sorry, Prabhu. I think we didn't discuss Prabhu last time.
Okay. Then you can read. Yes.
Yeah. For example, a man may have committed criminal acts, but not yet been arrested for them. Now, as soon as he detected, arrest is awaiting him. Similarly, for some of our sinful activities, we are awaiting distress in the future. And for others which are mature, we are suffering at the present moment. Example of prarabdha and aprarabdha. Mature sinful activities are exhibited if one is suffering from some chronic disease, if one is suffering from some legal implication, if one is born in a low and degraded family, or if one is uneducated or very ugly. Example of prarabdha karma.
So this aprarabdha and prarabdha. Aprarabdha means something which is due, which is not yet manifest, and prarabdha means which is already manifest. Like if somebody is born in a particular family, he can't say, I will change my family. You can't change your parents. One cannot change his face cut so much. So that is how these things are prarabdha karmas. Aprarabdha are still awaiting. So that's the example of prarabdha and aprarabdha. So these papa means of two types, prarabdha, aprarabdha. That is what we had discussed. So how this particular, so we'll not go into detail of all these. So these examples are enough. So this aprarabdha. This I was looking for. So we had discussed about okay. So that is not very good. But avidya, it leads to sinful desire, and sinful desire causes sinful action. A person practically commits the sin, and then there is unmanifest reaction. Now, unmanifest reaction leads to two things. One is prarabdha karma, that means in due course of time, and it also leads to kutam. So we'll discuss about, explain about each of these terminologies now. So this avidya, it leads to sinful desire. Sinful desire means, let us say, there is some criminal. He identifies himself with body, his senses. He wants to enjoy sense gratification, but he doesn't want to work very hard. So then he plans to loot a bank. And then what he does the criminal activity of looting the bank. That is papam. So the plan to loot the bank is called bijam, and the activity of looting the bank is called papam. And as soon as he loots the bank, there is aprarabdha karma which comes in picture. Aprarabdha karma becomes prarabdha if he is caught by the police and put in the jail. And then there is suffering in the prison house. So then it would be called prarabdha. Now, it doesn't produce just prarabdha. Another problem which happens is called kutam. Kutam is sinful disposition. Sinful disposition means person gets a further encouragement to commit that sin again. That means looting the bank again, that tendency comes inside. So that is how it doesn't go away so easily, doesn't go away so quickly. And when the disposition is there, let us say even if person is put in the jail, he gets his prarabdha also. He's beaten by the police also. But then he goes in the prison house, he learns from other prisoners how to loot the bank and not get caught next time. Because that sinful disposition has not gone away. And then again, when he'll come out, he'll make another plan to loot the bank and again do something else, something like that. Or instead of looting bank, they would suggest him, no, why loot a bank? No, loot some merchant who doesn't have so many people to protect his treasury. So that is how avidya is the cause, root cause. But then it becomes a perpetual cycle. Person is caught up in this cycle. And it's very difficult to come out of it. So that is the karma cycle. Yes, Pradeep Repukula Pro.
Prabhuji, one doubt, Prabhu here. So even if he goes to that kutam, sinful disposition, again he will do, and then so that aprarabdha will be keep on getting accumulated. That's how we have to understand, Prabhu.
Yes. Not as aprarabdha, even other things also keep on getting accumulated. Even kutam keeps on getting accumulated. So it's like all the things become strengthened more and more. All the aspects, whether it is sinful desire, sinful actions, aprarabdha, kutam. We can't find this very typically in the example of Ajamila. So Ajamila, so he had this kutam from his past life. And everybody has some kutam, actually speaking, from the past life. That's why we have a material body. But then as soon as he came, he was exposed to that prostitute who was embracing that Sudra. It turned into sinful desire of enjoying with that prostitute. And then he committed the sinful activity of kicking out his chaste wife, parents, then doing looting here and there, murdering people, etc. And then there was unmanifest reaction. And then later on it became manifest as prarabdha. He had to face or see at least the Vyamdutas. And the sinful disposition was there. That's why he was practically caught up in all these things. So all these things, they like keep on going. Because sinful desire, bijam is not just one bija, it's many bijas. So we throw many bijas. Is that clear?
Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu. Can you elaborate once again that everyone will have the kutam, right? What exactly mean that?
See, everybody will have kutam means from past life, there is some sinful proclivity within us. That is why we get this metal body.
Okay.
We have
Okay.
So that means that anybody who has a metal body has that sinful proclivity. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Santosh Bro.
Prabhuji, as you said, when we do some sinful activity, because of that, we get this body. When we initially we came from the spiritual world to the middle world, so that time we just have a desire, but not any sinful activity. To satisfy that desire, we got this body. So how can I understand this, Prabhu?
There is not sinful desire. There is just desire to enjoy separate from Krishna. That is called avidya. So avidya is the beginning. Avidya is called the root cause. Root cause means I forget my identity, that I am part and parcel of Krishna, and I forget my identity in relationship with Krishna. So that's avidya. Then avidya later on leads to sinful desire when we come in this material world. Okay. Yeah.
Krishna Prabhuji, in upcoming lecture, you are going to tell the root cause to come out of this, Prabhuji?
No, now only I'm going to speak.
Okay.
Not upcoming lectures. So this is a whole cycle of sin. This is clear. So we were discussing all these things. So the main thing is, do you want
Can
to
you
get
once again explain kutam?
Huh?
Kutam.
Kutam is
So how?
Sinful
So
decision.
aprarabdha, Prabhuji, aprarabdha, it will not manifest. Prarabdha, it will manifest. So what about kutam?
Kutam is a sinful disposition. That means that greed is there. Greed of getting easy money.
Prabhu, because of prarabdha, will get that attitude, or aprarabdha, or
No, see,
somehow.
prarabdha is a manifest reaction. Reaction means it's like beating of a police is called a prarabdha. Getting some disease is called a prarabdha.
Yes, Raj.
But then there is disposition also, that a person becomes greedy for too much of money, accumulating too much money. Okay.
That means sinful propensity is there in the heart. That itself shows he has kutam.
Yes. Like for example, a person who's a drunkard, so he has that taste for drinking. That is called kutam. Then what is bijam? Bijam is one makes a plan to drink. That's called bijam. When one starts drinking, that is called papam. But as soon as you drink, there is aprarabdha. Immediately you may not get some reaction. But in due course of time, there is some disease in the liver. That's called prarabdha. But apart from that, one becomes addicted to drinking. So that addiction is called kutam. So that addiction comes. Okay.
Prabhuji, in case of Dhritarashtra, so how it can explain to 100 cells, right?
See, Dhritarashtra, what we said is that he got his prarabdha because of his aprarabdha. But then Dhritarashtra had that, you can say, desire to harm others for maintaining one's family by killing these 100 birds of or 100 eggs of that bird. And that got manifest practically afterwards also. He wanted to maintain his children, give them all opulence by sacrificing the sons of Pandu, Mamaka Pandavaseva. So that proclivity remained. It didn't go away. Okay.
That means this aprarabdha will accumulate even lifetimes also.
See, main thing is aprarabdha. For aprarabdha to become a prarabdha, it may take many, many lives also. Like I was giving an example of seeds. When you put seeds, now for seeds to grow needs a favorable environment. And whenever favorable environment comes, it fructifies. So it may happen immediately, or it may happen in many, many lives. So till it is going to be manifest in this life, it will be called aprarabdha only. When it is going to get manifest in this life, then it's called prarabdha. Okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Prabhu, now what I am suffering or what I am doing sinful activities, that is just because of kutam?
No, it may be kutam also, it may be, you can say from when a child is born, it is more of a kutam, sinful disposition. But one may have bijam also from past life. What is that bijam? That means we have some
Sinful desire.
unfulfilled desire to enjoy unlawfully in the previous life. We couldn't fulfill it and then we died. So then Lord will give opportunity in this life also.
How to overcome, Prabhu? Because of kutam, I am doing it. But how to face this karma, Prabhu? Now we know it. Yeah, I am doing something.
Wait for the solution.
Okay.
Everybody asking same question. So first thing I required patience, then we can destroy it. So it looks like till eternity it will go on. Now there's certain things on which we have control, certain things which we don't have control. What are the things in which we have control? Three things: avidya, bijam, papam. So why I am calling pap bijam means it's material desire. But when it becomes aprarabdha, it turns into further kutam, further viram, and prarabdha. So these things are out of our control. Unmanifest reactions are not there with us. Sinful proclivity, we can't do anything about it. And karma bijam also, we can't do anything about it. But the root cause of everything is avidya, ignorance. So as we practice Krishna consciousness, what happens is we get that vidya. We understand our identity that I am not body, I am soul. Then because of that, what happens is slowly our material desires cease. But to the degree we identify with the senses, to the degree we would have desire to enjoy sense gratification. And when there is no material desires, then one would not commit sinful activities. When one will not commit sinful activities, suddenly you can say package of aprarabdha would reduce, kutam would reduce, karma bijam would reduce, and the manifest reactions would also reduce. That means if we practice Krishna consciousness nicely, we won't have to take birth again in this world. Because we are just attacking at the root. So you can say it is like more like a tree. So as soon as one gets the vidya, knowledge, that I am not body, I am soul, I am part and parcel of Krishna, that's like cutting off the root of a tree. As soon as one cuts off the root of the tree, then the tree falls down. That's why Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will take away all your sins. All your sins means all the things. What it means is Krishna is saying that I am giving you vidya. As soon as you say Krishna, I am yours, that means you get the knowledge that I am not body, I am soul, I am part and parcel of Krishna. Then what will happen is, it's like uprooting the tree. You are cutting this first line. Just a minute. You are cutting this line. You are able to see my pointer? If you are able to see, then you can find it.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see.
Yeah, so this particular root is cut out. As soon as that is cut out, slowly, like in a tree, as soon as you uproot the tree, the branches dry, the leaves dry, the twigs dry, the fruits dry, and things become dried up. Similarly, here also, slowly, all those things would become dried up because we are attacking at the root. Now that is not only thing which got destroyed. There is a verse in from Vishnu Puran which Krishna Prabhupada speaks in Bhagavad Gita. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham. So first thing to be destroyed is aprarabdha, and avidya is anyway destroyed. As soon as we understand I am not body, I am soul. So avidya is destroyed and slowly aprarabdha also goes away. Phalam papam, then sinful activities, we start following 40 principles. You must have seen at least that happens with the devotees. Then kutam goes away. And then bijam goes away. But the last one to go away is phalonmukham, that is called prarabdha. So that's why the reaction which we are going to get in this life are the last one to go away. And that is the reason many times devotees, even devotees find sometimes that the horoscope is working for them. Because reactions which are already manifest, which we are going to get in this life, are almost fixed from the type of birth. But by intense devotion service, even they can be destroyed, but bhakti has to become very intense. Then it can be happen. Then it can happen. Like for example, in the case of Haridas Thakur, the birth in a Mohammedan family is like a flaw. But by his intense practice of devotion service, he was counted as a great saint. That went away. Kubja was a lusty woman, hunchbacked. But then, by intense practice of devotion service, she got a beautiful body. Her form also changed. So that is how by practice of intense devotion service, things can go away. Okay. I hope the solution is clear to all the devotees. So we can control three things. Nicely read scriptures, practice Krishna consciousness, by that avidya will be destroyed. This is in our hand. Second thing, cultivate spiritual desires. Lot of desires to please Krishna. By that pap bijam, material desires will go away. Third thing is, because senses are easiest to control, don't commit sinful activities by the senses. Then slowly the whole of this cycle will be terminated. Okay, does it answer the question of all the devotees? Okay, seems like that.
Prabhu, what is karma bijam? Like, papa bijam is material desire. Karma bijam is like, what is that?
Actually speaking, what we have done is, we have divided the bijam into two so that the cycle is breaking. Na? So to break the cycle, we have done that. So karma bijam, you can say something between aprarabdha and prarabdha. So there are two types of bijam. You can say one thing is reaction which is about to manifest but has not just manifest. That means you go to astrologer, he will tell. He will tell that at this particular time, you will get that particular desire. Because of that, personally called. Like for example, now I'm not very good in astrology, but I heard from some astrologers. So they say, whenever there is a conjunction of Ketu and Buddha and Ketu are like in conjunction, and they're in a particular house, then the tendency that person may start get a desire to commit suicide. That means it is not your free will which is acting here. This is something which you are getting from your past life. So that's the reaction which is coming from the past life. So one is that proclivity. Now, for some people, it is said that they will commit suicide. Sometimes it may be that, and sometimes only thoughts may be there. So the intensity may be different. So then it becomes part of the individuals of time. So these things we can't avoid. It's like difficult. It's even they can be destroyed by intense devotion service. Again, same thing. If one is not practicing devotion service, it's practically unavoidable. But it's like we're practicing devotion service, they'll go away, but it is not in our hands. But these things at least are in our hands. Coming out of ignorance is in our hands. getting rid of material desires by cultivating spiritual desires is in our hand. Then controlling senses and not committing sinful activities also in our hand. These things at least are in our hands. Other things are not in our hands. Okay, did I answer the question? Yeah. This is different. Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, here, like a devotees and the kind of maybe Prabhupada time, there were many devotees who are like, tooth and nail. Every minute, every second they spend in Krishna consciousness, and amazingly they did. Still we are surviving because of their contribution. And suddenly, after Prabhupada left, some devotees who left the movement. So in this case, maybe like, in Nector of Devotion says that there are many reasons why devotee suffers. But here, is it this karma is working on them? Is the Krishna's will, or this aprarabdha, prarabdha, whatever the hidden things not yet clear? And because of aparadha, what we can consider.
Now there may be many reasons, and certainly one of the strong reasons is also free will. Free will means there are material desires, they are pulling you towards material life. But then if one is not acting with proper free will, one may end up in acting on material desires and doing sinful activity. And for certain devotees, material desires may be really very strong. It is quite possible. So because of that inspiration by Prabhupada, they were so much absorbed in cultivating spiritual desires that they forgot everything. That's why many times personal inspiration in Krishna consciousness is very important. Especially for brahmacharis. It's like personal inspiration is not that you will not, sometimes person becomes bewildered. Why I am now sacrificing so much? Especially for people who can earn nicely and have a nice cozy life. They feel sometimes why to do so much austerities. So then that personal inspiration also that helps a person to do free will, act according to free will. That's when Gayatri will find the major content of Gayatri is prachodayat. Prachodayat means one wants to get inspiration. So that inspiration is required for fighting against all the material desires, kutam, bijam, everything. And for some people, it may be because of aparad also quite possible. So that is also possible. But how do we say, how do we know? We don't know.
One more question, bro. So regarding karma and the word sloka from Bhagavad Gita says that antikalecha mameva yamyam. So whoever remembers me, they'll get.
Actually, that is not for devotee, that is for yoga misra bhaktas.
Okay.
That rule is not there. Even Bhagavad Gita is very clear that it is not for devotees. That's why you see the Father versus Krishna, what he says, my devotee doesn't have to worry about it. That means those who are yoga misra bhaktas, they have to see into the point of death, whether they are remembering Krishna or not. They have to find time, place, circumstances. But as far as devotees are concerned, they don't have to worry about it. For them, I quoted one verse when we were discussing Bhagavad Gita. Varadev says that I will take them back to God. Yadi vatadi dosena mad bhakta mam janasmarit am smarami mad bhakta nayami param gati. So if devotees don't remember me, I remember them and take them back to God. So for devotees not required.
Thank you.
Sorry.
So in Bhagavad Gita, which verse is? So regarding in Bhagavad Gita, which verse is? In Bhagavad Gita, which verse says?
Bhagavad Gita, just after that, if you see, you have to read hear the lectures again. Huh? We have discussed Vinimada Prabhu was not a part of our Bhakti Sastri course. That's why I answered him.
No,
for other devotees,
Varahadev quote I remember.
No, Varahadev quote is from Varapuran. Varahadev quote is from It is from Vara Puran.
But in Bhagavad Gita, which verse?
But as far as Krishna is concerned, just we know. It is toward the end of the chapter number 8, where Krishna speaks that as far as my devotees are concerned, they don't have to worry about it. So in chapter number 14, Ananya Cheta Satatam, Yomam Smarti Snitasa, Tasyaham Sulabham Pathana Nitya Sukta Yogina. So for a devotee who is always remembering Krishna, Krishna says he doesn't have to worry. He doesn't have to worry about all this. So this verse number 14, 8.14.
Yes, sir. Right.
Okay. So this Ananya Cheta means Ananya. They are not mixed devotee or pure devotees. Those who practice pure devotion service, you don't have to worry. If you are practicing mixed devotion service, you have to worry. So now it depends on us whether we have to want to practice mixed devotion service or pure devotion service. Pure devotion service is easier. Mixed devotion service is difficult. Okay. Fine. So we'll go to now. So we'll not go into all these details now. So I hope it is already clear to devotees.
Yes,
What
bro.
I will do, just a minute, I'll find a slide, next slide. And so I hope this is very clear. That devotion service eradicates everything, Putam, Bijam, Falonmukam, everything, but gradually. And I give the example of a tree. As soon as you uproot the tree falls down, but it takes time for the tree to get dried up. So in this way, we also have to wait for the tree of karma to get dried up. So I'll just show this verse first. This is what Prabhupada quotes from Padma Puran. And then we'll go to the next quality of sadhana bhakti. So this is the verse. Aprarabdha phalam papam putam bijam phalonmukam karmaneve praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. For those who are engaged in bhakti to Vishnu, aprarabdha, kuta, bija, prarabdha karmas are all destroyed step by step, one by one. Okay? So that is how it happens. So that's a continue chanting Hare Krishna nicely. Then we don't have to worry. Now we go to quality number 2. The first was Klesagni. What is happening is somehow. And next one is Subhadha. Now it is. So next quality is called Subhada. Subha means auspiciousness, Da means bestows. So the next quality of devotion service that it bestows auspiciousness on a person. So you can repeat this verse after me. Subhane Pidanam Sarva.
Subhami Pinanam Sarva
Jagatam Anuraktata.
Jagatam Anuraktata
Sadguna Sakham iti
Sadguna Sukham iti
Adini Akhyatani Manishivi.
Adhini Akyatani Shibhi.
Please read.
Why? Jagat Prinamam and Sarva
No.
Jagatam.
The wise
Okay.
explain.
Okay. The wise explain that there are 4 types of auspiciousness: Shubha, Shubhani, Akyatani, Manishvisha. Affection for all living entities, Prinamam. Being attractive to all living entities, Sarva Jagatam Anuraktatha. Possession of good qualities, Sadguna. And happiness, Sukham. As well as other items, Iti Adhinim. BRS. Why Jagat Prinanam and Sarva Jagatam Anurakta are mentioned separately. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So these are basically 4 effects of practicing devotion service. So these first 2, Klesagani and Sobhadha. As the Klesas means distress in life reduces, auspiciousness in life increases. But both these things become fully manifest only at the level of Nishtha. Till then, it is like slowly increasing. Both the things are increasing. As the time passes by, devotee suffering reduces and auspiciousness increases. So when we say auspiciousness, there are 4 effects explained here. What are they? Affection for all living entities. One becomes affectionate towards everyone. Hatred towards living entities reduce. Then one becomes attracted to all living entities. Sarva Jagatam Anurakta. One starts getting all good qualities of demigods. Vyastati Bhakti Bhagavati Kenchana Sarve Guna Sata Samasita Sura. Hara Bhavaktas Koto Mahadgunan. So one gets all qualities of demigods. And the last one is Sukham. Sukham is happiness. Now being attractive to all living entities and having affection for living entities, actually they are different also, but it will become more clear.
Hare Krishna. Sorry. Here, attractive, how I need to understand, Prabhu, not getting all living entities.
Wait,
Okay.
we have not yet discussed. Okay, so let us discuss. So these are the 4. Jagat Priyanam, affection for all living entities. So affection for all jivas means one becomes affection towards them and one cannot see them in pain. Because Vaishnava is one who wants to benefit everyone. So Prabhupada writes in page number 12, everyone can be attracted by the movement and everyone can feel the result. And Padma Purana confirms that all attractive, all beneficial nature of devotion service. Which Prabhupada again writes in end of the page and beginning of the next page. A person who is engaged in devotion service in full Krishna consciousness is to be understood to be doing the best service to the whole world and to be pleasing everyone in the world. In addition to human society, he is pleasing even the trees and animals because they also become attracted by such a movement. So when we say attractive, what happens is such a devotee's devotion service becomes attractive to others. Like for us also, when we came to Krishna consciousness, now you don't have to, maybe electronically you can raise your hands. How many of you have experienced that you become influenced by devotion service of some devotee? We started appreciating certain devotee, and that's why we picked up Krishna consciousness. So you can raise your hands. So many devotees have this experience. Yeah, thank you. So that is how devotees become attractive as they progress in devotion service. So because being affectionate to devotees, they give them devotion service, they do preaching, and then they become attractive to devotees also. And as I was quoting this verse, that devotees get all the good qualities of demigods. And then Prabhupada writes in page number 9, a Krishna conscious boy, even if he is not very well educated, can immediately give up all illicit sex life, gambling, meat eating, and intoxication. Whereas those who are not in Krishna consciousness, although very highly educated, are often drunkards, meat eaters, cess mongers, and gamblers. So that is Sad Gunadi Pradatvam. Devotees get all good qualities. Now this takes some time till we come to the level of Nishta, but gradually it will happen. Yeah. So Prabhupada says that one develops a high character. And then it also gives superior happiness. So there are three types of happiness. Let us see if it is there. There are three types of happiness. Vaisayikam, Brahmam, Aiswaryam. So in page number 10, Prabhupada has explained all these. So first one is temporary happiness. That is the pleasures of sense gratification found in this world. That is called Vaisayikam. But then there is higher happiness than that. That is called Brahmam. So Brahmam and Aiswaryam both are happiness on a spiritual level. But superior to Vaisayikam is Brahmam. It's like a ocean of Vaisayikam can't be compared to one drop of Brahmam. Happiness from Brahman realization. Realizing that I am not body, I am soul, I am different from this body. But then if ocean of Brahmam, ocean of happiness of Brahman realization is there, it can't be compared, it is lesser than one drop of oceanic happiness of Aiswaryam, happiness coming from Supreme Lord. And devotees do get that happiness, may not be fully, but to a good extent. So that is how devotees, they do get a superior happiness. Let us see if there is some. So superior, this is an example for attracting. How Lord Chaitanya attracted even the animals, trees in Jarikanda forest. So this is about, not go in all these details. These are good quality. Somebody can just quickly read all these comments by Prabhupada.
Prabhupada on this verse. On the other hand, a person who is not in Krishna consciousness has no good qualities. Second bullet point. He may be highly educated from the academic point of view, but in the actual field of his activities, he can be seen to be better than the animals.
And those who are not devotees, Prabhupada is talking about them.
Yeah. Even though a person is highly educated academically, if he cannot go beyond the sphere of mental activities, then he is sure to perform only material activities and thus remain impure. There are so many persons in the modern world who have been highly educated in the materialistic universities, but it is seen that they cannot take up the movement of Krishna consciousness and develop of high qualities of the demigods. Hare Krishna, what you back.
So they may be educated, but they don't have good qualities. Rather, many times people get into sinful indulgence after going into the universities. It's other way around. Please read. You can read all those points.
For example, a Krishna conscious boy, even if he is not very well educated by the university standard, can immediately give up all illicit sex, gambling, and meat eating and intoxication. Whereas those who are not in Krishna consciousness, although very highly educated, are often drunkards, meat eaters, sex mongers, and gamblers. These are practical proofs of how a Krishna conscious person becomes highly educated, highly developed in a good qualities, whereas a person who is not in Krishna conscious cannot do so. We experience that even a young boy in Krishna consciousness is unattached to the cinemas, nightclubs, neck dance shows, restaurants, liquor shops, etc. He becomes completely freed. He saves his valuable time from being extravagantly spent in the way of smoking, drinking, attending in the theater, and dancing. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
So that's how a devotees automatically get all these good qualities. So now we'll not go in the verses, but we'll go in the example by Prabhupada. You can read this, then you can ask question.
Okay. Happiness derived from the pure devotion service is the highest because it is eternal. It has been seen that great Mayavadi, impersonalist sannyasis, very highly educated and almost realized souls, many may sometimes take to political activities or to social welfare activities. The reason is that they actually do not derive any ultimate transcendental happiness in the impersonal understanding, and therefore must come down to the material platform and take to such mundane affairs. But a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness will never return to any sort of material platform. However alluring and attracting they may be, he always knows that no material welfare activities can compare to the spiritual activity of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, now you can ask. So
Prabhu, when we started this devotion service, especially, I'd just like to ask after giving some 30 seconds background. So I see some good qualities developing in self actually, but at the same time, good qualities in sense, like for example, giving some prasad, giving some gift, say giving some gift to the not known people also. So these are all good qualities are I can see developing automatically by performing the devotion service. At the same time, like some maybe watching movie, maybe going party and having all not offered prasad, not offered food, all those things. Not offered food, I'm not having. I mean, it's almost internal soul is telling that it's not good for that. I stop that, but still, some maybe watching movie or hearing some nonsense topics or those kind of things. If you, how can it be over the time period automatically it will go off automatically, or how, Prabhu? Just throw an example.
Yeah. So automatically it will go away in due course of time. At the same time, we can't stop for that automation. Makes sense? We can't stop, wait for that automation to take place, which may be another 10-20 years. Until then, we may be accumulating a lot of garbage in our head. So what we have to do is make some practical arrangements for that also.
So I understand. So I cannot understand like it will go off automatically, but we have some practice for taking those.
It will go away, but we can't wait for it.
Okay. So we have to apply some practice. You mean to say, Prabhu?
Some practice.
Okay.
For example, let us say you can put some software, protective software in your mobile or laptop. Especially what I understand is generally now for software engineers, they're always in front of laptops. But those are not software engineers. No, for them, laptop is not much trouble. But mobiles are more troublesome. They're always with you. So then one can always put remove those apps of browsing, etc. You want to do anytime browsing, do with the laptop. And for laptop, it takes little effort to open and browse and everything. So then one will not do it too frequently. So those are practical steps which we can take. Okay.
Thanks, Prabhu. It's a nice tip. Actually, I got it. So we should not wait for it, but we have to apply some practice. Automatically, we can remove those things.
Yeah, so it will happen, but till then
unnecessarily common contamination, we should welcome it actually.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
It's like fake it till you make it.
Okay, got it. Got it. For example, maybe we are fond of any like bhaji or a rasgulla or a jamun. So if we see any mom or wife is preparing some nice dish which we make to eat so much, then our stomach will get upset. So yeah, we have to practice it. Thank you. You got it.
Very good. So this is so this was about sukha. Prabhupada said transcendental happiness. So that's superior. Like for if we sometimes devotees say that no, we are not elevated like impersonalist. Fine, we may not be realized like impersonalist. But as far as sadhana is concerned, even sadhana wise, if one goes to impersonal philosophy under sadhana, it's so difficult, so troublesome. At least Krishna consciousness is feasible and easier for everyone, including brahmacharis also. So that is how that devotion, even the pleasure which we are getting is pretty high. It's pretty high for any other sadhaka of any other, you can say Brahman or Paramatma Vadis. Yeah, we can just read these points and then we'll go to the next quality. Next qualities.
Actually, a pure devotee does not aspire after any of these perfections because the happiness derived from the devotion service in Krishna consciousness is so transcendental. And so ultimately that no other happiness can compare to it. It is said that even one drop of happiness in Krishna consciousness stands beyond comparison with an ocean of happiness derived from any other activity. Thus, any person who has developed even a little quantity of pure devotional service can very easily kick out all the other kinds of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Example, Siem offered everything to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sorry, Prabhuji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered everything to Kolavera Sridhara, but he rejected everything.
Yeah, so Lord Chaitanya told to Sridhar, my dear Sridhar, should I give you opulence of Indra? Sridhar says, no, my lord, I don't need it. Should I give you opulence of Brahma? He says, no, what will I do of that? Should I give you Ashtasiddhis? I don't want that. So for everything he was saying. Because he was simply happy in state of practicing devotion service. So what did he ask for? He asked that let that boy Nimai remain the lord of my heart forever. And life after life. Let me be born as Sridhar Kolavicha, as a poor man, and let that Nimai, he come and bargain from me every day. So that is how he was happy. He was happy and content. So a devotee is so happy that he rejects everything else. Yes, Santosh.
Prabhuji, as per the previous page, it said that even a little quantity of pure devotional service can easily kick out all other kinds of happiness derived from the religious sense gratification or liberation. So does it mean that like even what I have experienced, like even still the sense enjoyment or sense gratification, the tendency still is there, but that doesn't mean that we didn't experience the pure devotional service or then even little quantity of that, Prabhuji? Like, how can I understand, Prabhuji?
Yeah, see, actually speaking, that real taste has not come. It has come for some drop sometime. But as I was telling, on the level of Nishtha, we can experience both this, Klesagni and Subhadha. In Subhadha also that happiness comes, which is more superior to the pleasure of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So, but that will be fully experienced or fully manifest when we will come to the level of Nishtha. So here some drops may come, some drops when we attend some yatra, some kirtan or something like that. But we don't get it on a steadily way. It's not always there. And because it is not always there, we become attracted to many other things also. So many other things we get attracted. But main thing is, even if you have a higher happiness, it is possibility for some time one can get attracted to other things also. So this fact which I was speaking in the previous classes also. Like even somebody may be on the level of bhav, but if he has done some aparad, because of that he may get some attracted to something material for some time. But after experiencing it, because one has a higher taste, one will get rid of illusion. So then for devotees, even if they become entrapped by Maya for some time, they easily give it up because there is no taste in Maya. Maya is as attractive as Krishna, but Maya doesn't give pleasure and satisfaction like Krishna. In Kali Yuga, Maya is even more attractive than Krishna in one sense. There are more advertisement of Maya than advertisement of Krishna. Like now you are having Pushpa Abhishek or Janmashtami programs. How much do we advertise? But for sense gratification, big billboards are there everywhere. So one may become temporarily attracted, but then one doesn't find satisfaction, one comes back. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So what's the hope for sadhaka who is, struggling with anartha stage only? We are so much struggling. So all these things, whatever we are discussing, can be experienced only in the nishtha stage, as you said.
See, it can be fully understood or experienced at that time, but the degree increase from day one only. Day one only things start manifesting. Like for example, people who have been eating onion, garlic or meat from childhood, and sometimes from the womb of the mother only, because mother is eating meat. How did it happen that within 6 months, 1 year, they give up meat eating? Because they are getting some pleasure from prasadam. If that is not there, how will one give up? So that is how some sort of pleasure is there. It's like, so it may be 100% manifest at the level of nishtha, but till then it may be 1 degree, 2 degree, 4 degree, 5 degree. It may be there. Okay, did I answer the question, Mataji?
Yeah, so I was just asking, what's the hope?
Hope is there because all the other people have got it. We will also get it. So it's not hopeless, it is hopeful movement because so many superior people have got it. Like Prabhupada disciple, if you talk about their backgrounds, many of them they openly say that don't ask this question. Because type of vrittis which they had are like so strong. See, for example, now drugs are concerned, drug addict person, you do any sort of rehabilitation, this is very difficult to give up. Whole country, whole India is suffering from that. Crores of youths, not youths even, teenagers, are engaged in drug addiction in India. What to say of other countries? And practically people's whole life goes away, they can't give it out, come out of it. But Prabhupada disciples, many of them were such drug addicts that they would continuously take drugs. As soon as they come to senses, they take drugs. So they were saying if drug is going to give us some sort of happiness, and then it will reduces, we'll keep on taking drugs and we'll die happily only. Why should we experience misery? That was their philosophy. But such people giving up a drug addiction, which practically makes a person grow mad, crazy, it's a remarkable thing. So if they have hope, we also have hope. Okay. One last question on Manjunath, then we go to the next.
It is not a question, but just wanted to understand the point. Prabhuji, just a few minutes back, you just mentioned Maya is so much attractive, and by big diamonds will be there, and for our preaching movement, we'll use very tiny things only. But in our ISKCON practices or entire world, why can't we use that big ads and everything for our preaching? I mean, is the devotees don't have time, or we will not focus more on that expensive? Oh, got it.
If you speak more, when Mother Prabhu will start asking donation from you, huh?
Definitely, if I'm eligible, definitely I'll put Prabhu. Definitely, I'm ready for that. Thank you, Prabhu. I got it.
Yeah. See, the whole point is majority of the population of the world is convinced about sense gratification. And that is the reason they put so much money in it. very few devotees in the world are convinced of Krishna consciousness. So obviously people don't put so much money in that. Okay. So that's
Thank
like
you, Prabhuji. Simple answer. Thank you.
yes. Okay, we'll go to next quality. Moksha laguta krits. So this is generally manifest on the level of bhav. So next two. So first two, Klesagni and Subhada, that manifest on the level of sadhana bhakti. Moksha laguta krits and Sudarlava, the next two qualities are manifest on the level of bhav bhakti, and last two qualities are manifest on the level of prema bhakti. So the third quality manifests on the level of bhav bhakti. Moksha laguta krits. It makes liberation look very small. That is the meaning of moksha laguta krits. So you can repeat after me. Mana eva prarudayam
Manageva prarudayam
hidaye bhagavadrato
Bhagavadrato
purusarthastu chatvaras
Purusharthastu Chatvaras
Tranayante samantataha.
Tranayante Samantataha.
Please read.
When please, Prabhu.
When even a little Manageva, attraction for the Lord, Bhagavad Ratha, grows in the heart, Hrudaye Prarudayam, the four objects of human attainment, Artha, Dharma, Kama, and Moksha, Purusharthas to Chatvaras, become like grass, shameful to appear before Bhakti, Trunayante Samantataha, dearest. Sorry.
So when literally attraction for Krishna comes, then there's no attraction for Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Everything is destroyed. So that happens at the level of bhava. You can read this also. You not read the Sanskrit one, only the translations.
All the siddhis headed by liberation, Sarva Mukti Adi Siddhayaha, and all astonishing material pleasures, Adbhuta Bhuktaya, follow after Tasya Anuvrata, the great goddess called Haribhakti Mahadevya, like fearful maid servants, Chetikavad. Correct.
So as soon as one gets bhakti, all other things go behind devotees. Liberation will come and fold palms. How can I serve you? Ashtasiddhis will come in the front of devotees. But devotee says, I don't want them. He rejects all of them. So that is how even the pleasure of moksha is derided by the practice of devotion service. Moksha. Fourth one is Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha means rare. Sudurlabha means very rare, extremely rare. Yeah. So why it is difficult is explained here. Sadhanugher anasanger.
Sadhanugher anasanger.
Alabhya suchiradapi.
Alabhya suchiradapi.
Harina chasvadeyeti.
Harina chasvadeyeti.
Dvidha sasat sudurlabha.
Dvidha sasat sudurlabha.
Please read.
Bhakti is difficult to attain in two ways. Dvida sasyat sudurlabha. If undertaken in great quantity, sadhana oghair, but without attachment, anasangair. Bhakti cannot be attained even after a long time. Alabhya suchirad api. And even if practiced with attachment implied, Krishna does not give bhakti to the practitioner immediately. Harina cha asu adeyat iti. Hare Krishna.
So especially it is talking about Bhava Bhakti and Prem Bhakti, because Krishna knows as soon as one practices Bhava Bhakti and Prem Bhakti, Krishna will become subservient of that devotee. And that's why Krishna doesn't give up Bhava Bhakti and Prem Bhakti easily. That's why Bhava Bhakti and Prem Bhakti is received only by the mercy of pure devotees, Acharyas. Acharyas become pleased by our practice. This followed by instructions very nicely, whole of it. So then one gets. And another reason why it is called Sudurlabha, means rare, is it has to be done, even sadhana bhakti should be performed with attachment. Actually. Attachment means like Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaks a very beautiful verse in, for holy name. If somebody cries for the mercy of Radha and Krishna and puts his full effort in the chanting of the holy names, only then one will get the realization of Krishna in due course of time. But if one doesn't do so, it will take very, 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 very long time. So that's why even whatever sadhana, we were chanting for 2 hours, not doing our arti, etc. But on at least that much time we are giving, we should give full focus to it. So that's why, because many people don't do that, that's why it is also rare. Now you may find, during japa many things become open. So many devotees, they do japa with parallel processing. And then they say, no, we don't have time. Now for many times for parties or festivals, you take out time. But then for exclusive japa, many times people don't take out time. So I have seen devotees many times, they say, no, Prabhu, we don't have time for to chant attentively. Anyway, you're given 2 hours, at least give 2 hours properly. Especially for Grasta, sometimes child is small, then become difficult. But main thing is at the time, husband and wife have to make some plan. At least Mataji is taking care of the child for whole day. Husband can take care for 2 hours. So that time he can peacefully chant at 16 rounds. So that is how whatever we are doing, it has to be done with attachment. Because most of the people don't do that. It's rare. Like this Bhakti Di Damodar Maharaj would often say. He would say that Mahaprabhu Sankirtan in Puri is open for everyone. Mahaprabhu would do Sankirtan, all the people would participate, jump and chant and dance. But Mahaprabhu Sankirtan in Srivas Thakur's house is very rare. Because only those people who are determined to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness were allowed there. Not everybody was allowed. So that's why for people who are casual in practice of devotional service, it will take a lot of time. That's why also it is very rare. But those are fixed up, they will get the goal very quickly. Those who are sincere will get the goal very quickly. So then it depends on us whether we want it quickly or we want, no, Prabhu, we are eternal. So even it takes many lifetimes, it doesn't matter to us. We have a lot of patience. Utsaha nisya dharya, no, lot of dharya is there. So then it will take a lot of time. That's why also it is called Sudurlabha. And suddenly Sudurlabha also means it is path of grace. It is given by grace of Krishna coming through the acharyas. The one, okay, I'll just speak this point also. And this is one of the reasons why we should follow our acharyas very strictly. Many times, especially nowadays, after this whole YouTube has become so popular, so many devotees, they want to do so many other parts of devotion service apart from what is given by acharyas. They will take so much of effort to do so many things which are spoken by so many kathakars or speakers in the YouTube channel. But simple program given by Prabhupada like Mangal Arati, Narsingh Arati, Tulsi Arati, Guru Puja, chanting of the holy names, reading scriptures, they don't want to do that. For that, they don't have time. taking big effort or running around here, running around there, this place and that place, and doing this exercise and that exercise, they become ready for that. But one has to understand, if we follow our acharyas very strictly, acharyas are going to bestow bhava bhakti. Bhava bhakti can't be achieved by one's personal endeavor, not possible. One may climb 1,000 steps of a hill for doing something. One will not get Krishna consciousness unless until one follow the instruction of the acharyas. So following the acharyas is very important for all of us. Please read all these points.
Sudurlabha. By doing all practices through all stages, starting with Shraddha, but without attaining Asakti, Bhava Bhakti cannot be attained. This is because it is stated that Rati or Bhava appears only after Asakti. However, even with all the sadhana and Asakti, the Lord does not quickly give Bhava Bhakti. He does give Bhava, but after delay. In this way, Bhava Bhakti is difficult to attain in two ways. Hare Krishna.
So Lord says, wait. You want to test, because as soon as he gives Bhava Bhakti, he becomes dependent on you. So that's why Krishna, some devotees said, why it is taking time? Krishna will take time. He will not hand over himself to you very easily. We will not go so much in all these details. Anyway, so almost main things we have composed, like covered. Now, last two, Sandaran Visesatma and Sri Krishna Akarsani. These are the qualities of Prema Bhakti. So, Sandarananda Visesatma. That means now this bliss is more condensed. So, if we see three levels, on the level of Sadhana Bhakti, when we were discussing about Subhadha, we discussed there is happiness there. That is like you can say sugarcane juice. Then we discussed about Moksha Laguta Krit, that happiness in Bhava Bhakti derives even the pleasure of moksha. It is like condensed sugarcane juice, which has become red almost like jaggery. Or it has become become very, very intense, very this. And this Sandaran Visesatma is almost like sugar candy. It has become sugar candy now. So it is, fully, very thick. So Vises Atma means like we can't separate ourselves from the soul because we are soul. Similarly, this bliss is a part of that person's life. He cannot separate himself from that bliss. So that's Sandaran Vises Atma. You can repeat this after me. Brahmanando bhave desha.
Brahmanando bhave desha.
Yete pararadha guni krita. Naiti bhakti sukham bodhe. Paramanu tulamapi. Please read.
The bliss of Brahman realization, Brahmananda, accumulated by Samadhi, lasting for half of Brahma's life. Praruddha Gunikrita cannot compare Natulam Bhaved to one drop, Paramanu Api, of the ocean of the happiness of Bhakti. Bhakti Sukham Bodhe. Yes.
Yeah, so a drop means a atom. Actually, Paramanu means atom. Atomic pleasure of ocean of Prema Bhakti is superior to the ocean of the Brahmananda. So that is how it is so powerful. So we'll not go into all these details. So this is about, okay, Prabhupada also doesn't write much about it. So now we'll go to last quality. Sri Krishna Akarsani Jasa. It attracts Krishna and his associates. Anybody who has love attracts Krishna and his associates. For example, when Ishwar Puri went to this Navadvip, and he was dressed like a beggar begging sannyasi, he went to the house of Advaita. And that time Mukunda Datta, he began reciting some Bhagavatam verses. Just by hearing that, he came into ecstasy. And seeing his ecstasy, all the devotees sitting there, they become attracted to Ishwar Puri. And seeing his ecstasies, Advaita Acharya could understand that he has some connection with Madhavan Puri. So then he thought, maybe he's Ishwar Puri. So he asked him, are you Ishwar Puri? He said, yes, I'm Ishwar Puri. So that is how such a person becomes very attractive to devotees also and Krishna also. And Mahaprabhu became so attracted, he took initiation from Ishwar Puri. So this Sri Krishna Akarsani. In each Navaveda Bhakti, do we have again sadhana, bhav, prem? Yes. Navaveda Bhakti is like a variety of bhakti, and that ultimately leads to sadhana. It can be practiced at bhav and it can be practiced at prem also. All the 9.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. Kritva harim prem bhajam.
Krutva
Harim prema bhajam.
Priya varga samanvitam.
Priya varga samanvitam.
Bhaktir vasi karoti ti.
Bhaktir vasi karoti.
Sri Krishna Akarsani Mata.
Sri Krishna Akarsani Mata. Bhakti is called Sri Krishna Akarsani. Bhakti Sri Krishna Akarsani Mata. Because it makes the Lord addicted to prema. Krutva harim prema bhajam. And brings him under control. Vasi karoti. Along with his associate. Priya varga samanvitam.
Yeah. So it makes Lord addicted to that prema, because that prema ultimately is the part and parcel of Radharani. So Krishna comes to touch that prema. He becomes attracted by that prema. Now we'll just read from Srila Prabhupada. Yes. Please read.
Srila Prabhupada and Sri Krishna Akarshini. Srila Rupa Goswami has stated that devotional service attracts even Krishna. The symbol of devotional service is the highest degree in Radharani. His highest degree is Radharani. Krishna is called Madana Mohana, which means that he is so attractive that he can defeat the attraction of thousands of cupids. But Radharani is still more attractive, for she can even attract Krishna. Therefore, devotees call her Madana Mohana Mohini, the attractor of Cupid. Hare Krishna.
Continue.
Yeah, next point. To perform devotional service means to follow in the footsteps of Radharani, and the devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Radharani in order to achieve perfection in their devotional service. Next, in other words, devotional service is not an activity of the material world. It is directly under the control of Radharani. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that the Mahatmas or great souls are under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, the internal energy Radharani. last point. So being directly under the control of internal potency of Krishna, devotional service attracts even Krishna himself. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So because under the control of internal potential of the Lord, it attracts even Krishna, like Radharani attracts Krishna. So how they have few beautiful verses, we'll not go through them. So there are 6 qualities. So Klesha, Agni and Subhada are a part of sadhana bhakti. In Bhav Bhakti, all the 4 qualities are there. Klesha, Agni, Subhada, Moksha, Lagda, Agrit, and Sudharlabha, all 4. In Prema Bhakti, all 6 are there. There's Sandrananda, Visheshatma, Sri Krishna Karsana. So you'll find that in the later ones, the previous ones are already there. Quality of previous ones are already there. So that is how this 6 qualities are manifest. Okay, so this like chapter number 1, we are going into it. So we'll go discuss this in the next class. It's already 9 o'clock. So we end here. See Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki.
It was the second class. There was no discussion.
Yeah. So next class, can we have it on Tuesday evening, 8 to 9:30?